When my baby turned a year old, I remember just sitting on the couch after everyone had, eaten the food and the cake had been cut and, all that excitement had kind of started calming down a little bit. I remember just feeling accomplished. And of course, I wanted to celebrate her on that day, but secretly, it was also a celebration for me because I had gone through a year of nursing. um, Breastfeeding a newborn is no joke. And yes, it felt, like a sense of accomplishment, but it was also like, wow, what is going on? What just happened? Um, and I think that, for us, for my husband and I, we really tried to prepare as much as we could going into just that first year. When I was pregnant, we took breastfeeding classes together at Coral Springs Hospital. We had a few breastfeeding resources at home. Um, and we really tried, he really tried. He was reading and gleaning so much information. Um, and little did I know how useful that would be because when she was first born, she was 6 pounds, and then she lost a pound that first week. And so she really needed to kind of get back into that, like, get back her birth weight, basically. Um, and there were so many times where I wanted to give up. I remember just Googling formula and just like different kinds and stuff. And I remember just like crying and being like, what do I do? And um, there were a few times when my husband had to really come and just be like, hey, it's okay. Let's just take it one step at a time. Let's make us a goal. Let's make a goal for you to just breastfeed the first month and then breastfeed the second month and then the third month and then 6 months and then 9 months. And that really, really helped. And I needed that reminder all the time. And also, when you first have a newborn, all your focus is on them, honestly. It's just kind of how it is. And it's helpful having someone there who has read all that information alongside with you, but may remember it when you don't. So for me, there were a lot of stuff about nursing that I had forgotten because all of my attention was on this newborn. Um, and so he just really helped me kind of remember the things we learned in class and apply them. But when it came down to it, he had to go back to work, unfortunately, a week after my baby came. So I remember sitting in our apartment for 8 hours and being with this very new baby. Um, and it felt like I was constantly nursing her. Those first few months, it feels like you're constantly nursing. And I just like I really had to figure out a routine or something, some way to get through it. Um, and at the end of the day, it came down to I'm choosing to breastfeed on demand, and right now it means her needing to gain weight, which meant a lot of nursing. And so I remember just being like, okay, here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna turn on Netflix. I'm gonna get water and snacks and tea or coffee, and you're just gonna nurse. And that's what we ended up doing for a little bit, until she started calming down. And instead of nursing 10 times a day, she would nurse 8 and then slowly down to 6. And so it started to kind of, dwindle off a little bit, and just be more consistent. So after 6 months, it got really consistent. And she was also eating food, so that helped. And so I felt like, okay, I got the hang of this. We can do this. We can finish off that year, and we did, and it was so exciting. Um, but honestly, it was really hard at first. And yes, I so wanted to give up. But I think that's what a lot of people will tell you is that in the initial stage, it's gonna be hard. Um, Once you make it past that initial stage, you will feel a little bit more just in control and more like yourself. um, and I would not trade that for anything in the world. I would do that year all over again if I had to. And in the future, when we have more babies, I will breastfeed them for probably as long or maybe more. Um, as I breastfed my current baby. But yeah, we are coming up on 11 months, and it's so great. It's just wonderful. Probably, I don't even